everybody, happy Saturday. Welcome to the vlog. I'm in a particularly good mood today, so this is going to be a goofy one, but I'm going to sip a tea while I recap the week with you. So it all started off with Saturday. I decided to have a very lovely breakfast, homemade cacao porridge with homemade, very yummy cranberry chutney on top, because I had a very productive day in the kitchen ahead. So also doing other housework, but let's do that later, because I decided to roast a duck. It was the day before the first Advent, and Sebastian would come over and we'd have a lovely Advent Sunday, him learning all about my traditions in my house. So I roasted the duck the day before to, get a little bit of time for myself, not being stressed out, and still producing a so yummy meal. Guys, oh gosh. It was awesome. So I cooked and roasted away for about 2.5 hours, taking the duck out of the oven every so often, putting some more liquid on top, making it very juicy and not dry and yummy and all the good things, producing a sauce from the, it was a heart, kidneys and liver of the duck, just, blitzing it up in a blender and mixing it with the stock that I made out of those bits and pieces. And it was a lovely sauce. Oh, so delicious, guys. If you have a couple of hours and can get a duck roast, it takes quite a bit, I have to say, but it's so worth it. So worth it. So then I carved the duck once it had cooled a bit, prepped all the bits and pieces for the next day, and put away the tiny little scraps of duck to be put into the sauce and have on that same evening and such. And once that was done, I could get to housework, and it was already quite late in the day. It was dark outside. I had to put on new bed sheets, and I can tell you something. With MS, it's a chore to change your bed sheets. It's so exhausting. It's so painful on my bones and my muscles and everything. It's not my favorite thing to do. But, well, every so often, I just gotta do it, because, fresh, lovely bedsheets are amazing. I love the first night sleeping in new bedsheets. It's a thing I really, really like. But it takes me forever to change the sheets on my bed. It took me about 40 minutes because I had to have little breaks in between, and the further I went on with that task, the slower I got. It's really strenuous on my back and on my legs. And after standing in the kitchen for a couple of hours, that's even more exhausting on my body. So I was so happy once I was done with that task. And boy, did I have hurting legs and back and everything. But, well, that's just life, Of course, I couldn't stop there. I had to do the laundry as well, because I hate just things lying around and tasks being undone or not completed yet. So I took care of that right away, and then, made myself a lovely dinner. I had a little bit of that duck and red cabbage and some potatoes. Oh, it was so good. So good. And in the evenings, I rewarded myself with a little origami. So yeah, put some more strenuous things on my fingers. Watched some Designated Survivor while putting together that lovely Scorpio that I got from a loot box. Very lovely, very cute, but quite fiddly to put together, I can tell ya. Wasn't that easy on my fingers, but it's so worth it. I think it looks great. And then Sunday came around, and very early in the morning, like 9 a.m., Sebastian came to my house. We had a lovely Advent breakfast, very traditional, with a pyramid and all the Christmassy things that come from the region that I was born in. And I told him all about, my traditions and stories, and which item came from where and what it means, and what emotional connection I have with it. And then we lit the first candle on the Advent wreath that Sebastian's mom made for me. It's very cute, very lovely, sitting on my table, and just waiting for all the candles to be lit. So we just had a lovely day, enjoying breakfast together, watching movies. Sebastian caught a very nasty cold, so we had more of a low day. Lots of oranges and clementines in our stomachs for quite a bit of vitamin C, because, you know, you gotta stay healthy. And then after breakfast, we watched Love Actually, which is a very lovely film that I showed him. Sebastian never watched that movie. And it was my dad's favorite Christmas movie. He always watched it the night before the first Advent. I had done so the night before, had my little cry, just like every year, and then watched the movie with him the next day again, just cuddling up. Enjoying time together, very lovely day. And after Love Actually, of course, we had to do one other tradition, the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Humbug! There goes Mr. Grimm. If they gave a prize for being mean, the winner would be him.
With their employer gone at last, Bob Cratchit and the bookkeepers immediately began that most pleasant of activities, the celebration of Christmas. He's gone!
Gentlemen, let's close up for Christmas. There's magic in the air this evening, magic in the air.
It was a lovely time. We had the first piece of Stollen, which is a very traditional German Christmas cake or Christmas time cake. And after that, I prepared dinner. Again, we had the breasts of the duck. I saved the best pieces for that evening. Some more lovely red cabbage. And those little dumplings here. Well, they're not little, actually. It's quite the traditional German Christmas time or winter time food, and we enjoyed it a lot together. Just, you know, going with my traditions. Next year around, I think we will do his family's first Advent traditions. We gotta check how things work out then. But we enjoyed the day. We loved spending time together, having a very quiet Sunday, not doing pretty much anything other than having lovely food and, you know, watching movies. It was awesome. Monday came around and I had to be very busy. So the night, Sunday to Monday, it was the coldest night so far. We had -8 degrees Celsius, which is below freezing point. And as you can see, there's the white frost on the roof. And I thought, well, let's go into the garden and prep my grow boxes for next year. Because why not? It was very crisp and lovely that morning. I had to drill some drainage holes into my new cold grow box frames and then, well, stack around some earth. Again, was very strenuous on my body, and you can see some funny bits here. So for one, ice crisping, woo, there it goes. But also with MS, again, things are very strenuous on my back and on my legs. And once I reach that point that I'm, well, kind of exhausted or my muscles won't work as well anymore, I start twerking. I could be a professional twerker, and I actually never learned it. It's just what my body does. I find it hilarious and annoying at the same time. And the twerking point always is a point that tells me you gotta sit down for 10 minutes, Sarah, and then you can go on doing some more work. Fun fact, I don't always listen to my body, so I twerk a little more and a little more until the point that I have trouble keeping my balance, and that is when I sit down, guys, but not a second before that, because twerking's fun, as you can see. I find this hilarious. I had so much fun cutting this vlog, because, yeah, I made myself laugh. And I think that's a good thing. You sometimes have to laugh about your goddamn disability. It's, yeah, it's a thing I do. I think it's a coping mechanism too, but well, that's another kind of story. So I went on sitting down, doing some more work. Jörn and I had bought those big heavy stones to grow our vegetables in next spring. And I needed to make some space because where they were parked, I wanted to have my cold frames to have them out of the way and have them positioned where they should be before I would fill them up with soil, which, as you can see in a second, I did.
My mind is a minefield. Watch your step, that's not a threat, no. My heart is a house of cards. They had those shaky hands, they let me fall apart. And I know it shows, yeah. You keep me on my toes, yeah. Just one more song, yeah, yeah. Play it till I'm gone. When I start sinking and my demons start creeping in. When I start breaking, will you be waiting? Pick me up and put me back together again. See what I see? Yeah, you could save me.
that, I had to take a break, wait for Jan. He would come home early afternoon, so I thought it would be a perfect time to just sit down and wrap up a birthday gift. So Sebastian's dad, one of his dads, is gonna celebrate his birthday very soon, and we can't meet up because lockdown. Nah. So I thought, well, it would be kind of nice for him to open up his gift from me anyway, so I'm gonna send it to him via the mail. And I wrapped it up very lovely. At least I think it looks kind of nice. So what we did, he's my co-author and my fellow nerd. So co-author when it comes to DSA role-playing, writing quests and adventures and all of that. So we are chatting a lot and, well, we goof around. He's not only my future father-in-law, but also a very dear friend to me. So we created the hashtag Nerd Dream Team and had goofed around and said, this has to be a t-shirt. So I designed a t-shirt. And this is what I'm going to wrap up here. I had it printed and delivered. And I got myself the same one. So come his birthday, I am able to wear a new t-shirt too. So there's just a goofy little thing on the front of the shirt. And I, did... on the back, I wrote down some of the most significant things we said in our chat. So it's year one of the Nerd Dream Team. Also made him a lovely birthday card, just handmade, because that's what I like to do. And then Jan was home and we could work some more on the garden. So we put down some cardboard underneath those very heavy stones. One of them weighs 45 kilos. So Jan had to put them where they would belong because I couldn't get them off the ground. But I did the helper thing with the cardboard and the directing and the talking where things go and cheering him on that he was again lifting half a ton, one piece at a time. to take a break, sit down for a while, because those kinds of tasks are very strenuous on his muscles as well. In case you're new to the channel and you don't know, my best friend, which is Jörn, also has MS. So we look quite different with the symptoms, but we experience some of the things the same way, and work on our bodies really makes our muscles tighten up and hurt and us losing strength in our legs. So he had to sit down for a bit and I could move on, putting some more soil into those rings that will very soon, in a couple of months, have lovely vegetable plants in them, because that's what we bought them for. Found a little worm, so he had to show me, and as a reward in the evening I made myself a hot whiskey. It's just 2 centiliters of whiskey, a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of sugar, and lots of hot water. It's a very lovely thing. It doesn't taste like whiskey, so give it a try if you want to. So the next day, in the mornings, it was the 1st of December, so I could open my advent calendars. I got one from Jörn with Lego and one from Sebastian. So the Lego one was very funny because we both made an advent calendar for the other person with Lego, and we had kind of joked around, haha, we're gonna buy the same set. Well, it wasn't the same set, but it was from the same series, so the Lego Architecture series. He got New York and I got Paris, and we really laughed our asses off because this is just so us. If you want to define our friendship, that is how you would define it. It's, yeah, I'm still shaking my head when I think about it. But yeah, got to open my 2 lovely calendars. Did some Christmasing with it because 1st of December. Made myself a lovely tea because you can't open an advent calendar without a lovely tea. At least I can't. Or I'm struggling a little more, let's say it that way. And then I started with Sebastian's calendar. He made one for me that is very much inspired by Gloomhaven. So if you have played the game and you remember the city and road events, in that style, this is what my everyday calendar is. So I get a little text and it's all about our journey for when it comes to our relationship. And I have to choose option A or option B, and then turn the card around, and then depending on what option I chose, I get to open a different envelope every time. It's very lovely, very goofy, so sweet, so romantic too. And one of the things I got were cards for Gloomhaven, so there's probably an expansion again. Because we don't like that game at all. No. And actually, we're gonna play it tonight. So he really had surprised me with that and made me giggle and laugh a lot and being curious and all of that. So this advent calendar is very dear and special to me. The other one too, so Jan with the Lego. I just really loved how he put the calendar together with those lovely bags on the big branch that he went out and did hunt for us to hang up. I really just love it a lot. And I liked putting pairs together before doing some coloring and also working on a commission piece that had to be done. And then on Wednesday, guess what? Started off with the advent calendar. That's always my first task in the morning now. Taking the pills, opening the advent calendars, having a tea, and then starting off the day. And I started it off with some more breakfast. Again, cocoa, porridge. I put in oats, poppy seeds, which tend to sit in between my teeth, which makes for very lovely facial expressions. And raisins and almond milk and cocoa, of course. And then put a little chutney or fruits on top. So after that, it was food shopping time because in the evening, Sebastian and a dear friend of ours would come over for dinner and bringing back moving boxes that they had borrowed from my house. So I had this very strenuous task to go food shopping. This is depending on the day and depending on how much I have to buy. This is a huge task and it really is very hard on my back and on my legs. But I managed. I was exhausted. Don't get me wrong. It's more huffing and puffing, but well, that's life. Then I had to take a break for 2 hours, just resting on my bed, watching some Crown, new episodes of season 4. Watched 2 of those, and just curled in on my bed and just resting my legs before getting back to the kitchen and cooking up some lovely kale stew dinner for the evenings for everybody, which was very yummy and very tasty, and we had a lovely evening together. Thursday, guess what? Advent calendar! Because that's what you do. I had to search a little more this time around where the bag was, and it was so high that I had a little trouble getting to it, but I managed, because I'm a very nifty kind of person. I can figure things out and kind of keep my balance. Yeah. Again, there was a very lovely card in Sebastian's calendar as well. And this week, by the way, since I just see it here, because I'm watching the footage back with you, I had a very funny thing, which was I had trouble focusing. So usually I need my glasses because I'm nearsighted, but this time round I took my glasses off more often than not, because it was just, I couldn't focus very well. That is a symptom of MS too, and I'm sort of familiar with it. I was just surprised at how many days that happened to me in a row. It's nothing to worry about. It could be just being exhausted or the kind of lighting you have in the room. But yeah, I didn't like the glasses when it came to artificial light. My eyes were not really focusing. But yeah, Thursday was a very long, very productive day for me. I did spend 12 hours wrapping 4 gifts. Yes, you heard me right, because I made my own wrapping paper. So one of the gifts that I wrapped was the commission painting that I had painted earlier this week. And I offered the customer to gift wrap it in a very unique kind of way. So I took to my crafting paper and my winter and Christmas stamps and stamped away very happily for a couple of hours. I think it was 9.5 hours or maybe 10 hours just stamping and later on coloring the wrapping paper before actually getting to the task of wrapping the gifts, which was fairly quickly. It took me maybe 1.5 hours. Didn't take a lot of time, but I sat in my kitchen all day and just listened to an audiobook and stamped away and colored away all day. I still, if I look back, and I can't believe it took me 12 hours. But well, it was a very productive, very well spent day. In the end, like the last 45 minutes of coloring those stamped papers, I got very crampy fingers on my left hand. So my left hand is my dominant hand, and guess what? I use it for stamping and for coloring. So my pointing finger and my middle finger, that part of my hand was hurting so much in the end. I could hardly get through the task, but I wanted to be done. So I just powered through, but I was very happy once I was done with the gift wrapping paper being stamped and colored and doing some different kind of motions. I had dinner in between prepping the papers and then actually wrapping the gifts. So that was a little time to, get better with my crampy muscles. But it also helped to then do different kinds of movements when it came to actually wrapping the gifts, because, well, that's, just a different kind of motion, and it works differently on my hands. And today, this fine morning, guess what? I started with the Advent calendar very bright and early in the morning, 7 a.m. That is when my alarm clock went off because I had to, well, open the Advent calendar and finish Sebastian's very private vlog. He always gets a different kind of vlog every week, so I'm actually editing 2 vlogs every week, so I had to do that. And then get ready and, well, work on this vlog now. Before I'm gonna go over to Sebastian's house and stay there for the evening, coming back tomorrow because it's, well, weekend and we actually want to spend some time together before the kids come over. So it is the kids' weekend, and we decided that Friday to Saturday around noon. Alice, who is Jan's girlfriend, will spend time with the kids and they do things together. And Saturday early afternoon and Sunday, I'm gonna be with them and spend time together and do lovely things. So we're going to be at my mom's house for a lovely meal on Sunday before they go home. And then, well, it's another week. But since I'm just, you might be wondering, this time around in the Advent calendar, I had to send a certain word. It was either joy or difference that I had to text to Sebastian so he would tell me which envelope to open. And he will tell me, well, 3 hours, almost 4 hours after this footage is shot, the one where I actually open the envelope is when he told me. But yeah, coming back to what's ahead today, I'm just gonna spend with Sebastian. We're gonna play some Gloomhaven tonight. We're just gonna spend time together and have fun. And tomorrow we'll just sleep. And when we wake up, have a lovely coffee, a very lovely morning, and then I'm off to the kids. By the way, the photo that I just showed you is the first one. We were out for the first time as a couple, and he introduced me to his whole friend group. I knew some of the people beforehand, but not everybody, so we all met up in a restaurant that day in February, and he took that photo in the restaurant. So I've never seen that photo before, so that was a lovely reminiscent kind of looking back. Oh yeah, that was 10 months ago only, almost to the day. So yeah, that was my week, guys. Very productive, quite strenuous and exhausting on my body, but very much uplifting to my spirits because I'm in the Christmas spirit. I'm loving Christmas season. I enjoy every little bit of it. And so mentally this week was amazing. And I'm very much looking forward to my weekend. I hope you're in the Christmas mood too already, and you're, well, dancing around the house, singing Christmas songs and watching lovely movies, or, well, opening your Advent calendar, do all the traditions, whatever the traditions are in your family. So if you want to let me know what your favorite Christmas time tradition is, please let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious. And I hope you will have a great weekend and take good care of yourselves. And, just enjoy time with lovely people and lovely hobbies and lovely food and all of that. And I'm going to see you next weekend. Take good care, guys, and have fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.